Michelle, go ahead. Okay, good morning. Hi, Chen, George, Realty. Nice to see you guys. Hope you have a nice weekend. The weather is getting hotter, and so when you're going out to door knocking and things like that, be sure that to bring enough water so that you don't dehydrate yourself. Okay, and you know what? The weekend, the interest rate has dropped from 6.72 to 6.63. Although it's a very small drop, but it kind of started the downward movement of the interest rate. So hopefully that will reinvigorate the buyer's interest and stimulate the transaction activities. And it's also, you know, the Fed is under pressure to reduce the interest rates. So there's a general consensus that the Fed will reduce the interest rate in the September meeting, and there will be two more interest reduction by the end of the year. So that's good news. That means that we should be expecting about 0.75% drop in the interest rate, and that will really help the real estate activities. So keep our fingers crossed, but don't wait until their time. You know, it's always time to prepare yourself and generate the business. Actually, the activity has been increased for the last 2-3 months already, even within our company. So you know, this is a good time to, you know, step up your gas and generate some more business. Okay, we have a lot of affiliates today. Thanks for them for their support, and you know that Marie is the spotlight affiliate spotlight today. So we'll let Marie go last. Let's begin with Sandy. Sandy, go ahead. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Sandy Franco, First American Home Warranty. Even though I'm out here in Minnesota, if you need door knocking materials, any of that stuff, Angie has got a big supply of it already. Yay, Angie. And I will continue to send them to her house. So if you need door hangers, if you need the regular ones, the open house ones, or the baggies, Angie will have them. Okay. And I know it's a little warm outside, getting a little warmer. Do it in the evening. You know, you still got some daylight before it gets too dark. Go when it's cooler out. Nice opportunity to meet people who are out with their children playing in the yard or doing their yard work after it gets a little cooler. We are here to help make your business what you want it to be. We will put more effort or as much effort as you put into it. If you ask us, we will be there for you. Okay. But if you don't ask for the materials, we can't get them to you. I will put my info in chat, but remember, Angie will have this stuff. If you ask me, I will send it over to her and she will get it to you. Have a great week, everyone.
Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate that. Then we have Nancy Chen from Lawyers Title. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning. Peter is right. There's a lot of activities. I talked to several agents. Their open houses are like jamming. People coming in because I do provide booties and open house kits. So I do deliver to them. Sometimes I go there and check it out, and then there is a lot of people looking. That means the buyers are anxious. So get a lender together. And I think it's a good thing to have a lender there at your open house so they can qualify the people. You provide them with more service. And it's worked for a couple of my agents because they sometimes double enter because if there's no other agent. Of course, you ask them if they don't have an agent, then you get them qualified and you show them this house or show them other houses. The key is to get them interested and give them more for what their money's worth. And I do appreciate everybody. And Nancy Chan, 44 years in the industry. Take care, everybody. Call me if you need anything.
Yeah,
thanks, people. Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, Nancy is very friendly. Every time I call her, it's very helpful. So don't be shy, and if you need any help from her, just call her. She has a cell phone ready all the time. Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Yeah,
we have a couple more in the room now, Peter.
Okay.
Well.
Okay. Good. Let's Angie. Angie came from First American Title. Angie, good morning.
Good morning, Peter. Good morning, everyone. Angie Tang, First American Title. Like Sandy was saying, I have a mound of stuff. Literally, I could hide behind these boxes and you won't see me. So in the event, like Peter was saying, it's an active market. Don't be waiting to farm. It's now is the time. As soon as the interest rate drops, there's going to be a flurry. You want to be on top of the flurry, start now. So if you need that farm list, we've got it. I've got it covered. And then Sandy's got the door knocking baggies, the hangers, the chapstick. I mean, I've got it all. So come reach out to us. I won't be hiding behind the boxes. I want to get rid of them. So give me a call. Angie
Okay.
Tang, First American. Thank you, Peter. Thanks,
Thank
Eddie.
you, Angie. And the farm list is free, first of all, right?
Yes. And the
That's
farm list
great.
is free.
That's great. That's
All of it
great.
is free.
And also another thing is Angie is very good in Ron, will be remote online notarization. If you
Yes,
need
through
any
First
help on
American.
that, she's very good at
Thank you.
helping us with that. So thank you, Angie.
Welcome.
All right. Now, Mark, how are you doing? Haven't seen you for a while. Good morning. You have to unmute, Mark.
Good
Mark.
morning, everybody. Thank you
Okay,
for
there you
having
go.
me.
There you go.
It's been a while, but was traveling a little bit, and then just things get busy. But I'm always here. I always answer my phone, even when I'm in foreign countries. I'm here to assist you guys in with your buyers and getting preferred standard policies for your buyers in escrow. Don't wait till the last minute. What's been hanging us up a little bit is that sometimes the sellers aren't disclosing that there's a claim. And we need to make sure that we can prove and show documentation that the claim has been remediated, or else we can't get a policy other than the fair plan. So as a seller's agent, you can be proactive if and ask your sellers, have you had a claim? And if they have, then just prepare the documentation that the claim has been resolved and remediated. Then it doesn't count against the buyer, and the buyer can obtain insurance. Again, this situation's happened several times this past month, and it's delayed our ability to close. And so you don't want to be caught in that situation. Anyways, I'm here to help, even if I'm not part of your transaction. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Looks like you're enjoying summer, huh? You get a good tan on you.
Very much so. Well, that's more because of yard work. Can't find yard people anymore. No, just kidding.
Okay, thank you. Very good. You look good. You look good. All right. Next, we have Maitru from Fidelity National.
Hi, good morning, everybody. True with Fidelity Title. So we have 4 new calculators that came out in our Fidelity Agent 1 app, and they are going to be released on August 20th. So if you guys have any questions in regards to any of the calculators, please let me know, and I will gladly help you. And if you guys need anything else title related, please let me know. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful week. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. And we have 2 affiliates in the training room. So, Michelle?
Yep, they're coming up.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Hey, Alba, good morning.
Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Have a wonderful week. This is Alba from Moy Escrow in Alhambra. I want you guys to be very productive. Stay cool. Love you guys.
Thank you, Alba.
Yay,
And then we have Yolanda. Good morning, Yolanda.
Good morning. Hi, Tango Realty. I hope all of you had a wonderful weekend. I was out visiting some open houses from Thursday on to Sunday. Oh my God, they're busy. I was at this one open house in South Pasadena, and it was just like a revolving door. There were so many people walking in. I went to an open house over the weekend, one in Pico Rivera that started at 2 o'clock. So I said, I'm going to get there right at 2. There was a line of people waiting for the open house to open. So it is busy. Open houses is a great way of prospecting. And if you don't have a listing to have open house, I know, as somebody in your office, I know you can host your fellow agents' open houses. It's a great way of farming, prospecting, picking up leads. It's busy, you guys. I see the open orders. So Get out there and prospect. Let me know if you should need any help. Yolanda Martinez Arenas, WFG National Title Company, 43 years in the business. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Yolanda. My friend always call me and I say, well, when's the prices coming to drop, I said, how much do you expect to drop? He said, 20%. I said, you must be out of your mind. 20% price drop, never gonna happen. Not in California, But what can I say? He's gonna miss the boat again. Anyway, is any more affiliates?
No.
Michelle? Okay. If not, then I would like to introduce Marie from Contemporary Escrow. Marie is going to talk to us about how to avoid the land deal fraud, and it's very important because recently we have one such case, and it's kind of a messy. And luckily, the agent discovered it on time and prevented the fraud, and that's very lucky. So go ahead, Marie.
Good morning, everyone. Marie Paramore and Tempo Escrow. The reason I even brought this to surface is because it seems like we're hearing more about fraud with vacant land. And I think we've always heard about fraud, but now it's kind of at a different level. It's definitely on the rise, and we as real estate individuals, we have to be in front of it rather than behind it. The average criminal, none of us are that. So their mind frames and their thought process and how they do things is way more skilled. So we have to sharpen our, what we do to make sure that we are in front of fraud and kind of see it when it's coming or try our best to see it when it's coming. So truly, the one thing I would like to say is know your seller. It's going to be, most people know a realtor who's a family friend, a family cousin, a friend of a friend. People know realtors. So if you have someone that comes to you that you don't know, you want to be suspicious to some extent. You at least want to let your red flag go up to go, hey, Mr. Seller, why'd you choose me? Because sometimes a seller will pick you because they know that you're not familiar with them, that property, and they can trick you or try to trick you. So the first thing you want to make sure is know your seller. Do your homework. If it is someone who comes to you and say, hey, I have this vacant lot I want to sell, your first words were you want to kind of do your homework. The same way when you go on a listing appointment and you do your property profile, you want to do your investigation on that seller, whether it be, their identity. You could know the reasons why they're selling this property. How did they obtain this property? You definitely want to go in and do the property chain of title to see what lies on that property. Do your homework so that you don't find yourself in a position where you truly don't know your seller. I've told this story here before, but I may have some people that may not, but I'm going to give a quick version of it. I had an individual who I do mobile homes for. He owns mobile home parks. So he had a lot of land in various places. He came to me and said, hey, Marie, I need to come in and for you to do a notary for me. He comes in and he tells me that there's an individual who has his lot in the Lancaster area for sale. It's not him. Somehow they got a hold of his driver's license and duplicated his driver's license. They were able to get credit reports with his name in it. The only reason he found out that property was for sale is because his neighbor had been asking for that property for years, and he always told her, no, it's not for sale. She called him and yelled at him and said, how dare you sell this property when I've been asking you? He said, it's not for sale. She goes, oh, yes, it is. And that's how he was able to catch the fraud. But you imagine if that property is in vacant land somewhere where you don't have a neighbor, that a transaction could have gone through and that property would have been gone. He had to get the FBI involved. He had to get the police department involved, the escrow company, all of those. And it becomes very messy, as Peter said earlier. So with your sellers, you just never know what the intent or people are. I don't think we worry about our buyers as much. We worry about our sellers more. We had a case many years ago where our, and for a residential, but I'm going to tie this fraud into that, where our seller's house burned and they moved away. They were elderly people. They moved away and they left the property there because I don't think they had the money to rehab it. And some fraudulent agents and buyers got into that property, sold that property. In this case scenario, there was a lot of us involved in this that may know this story. We caught the fraud, but I caught the fraud because it was just becoming way too inconsistent. But these individuals have driver's license. They have access into these properties. They're just skilled individuals, and this is what they do. So we want to be really, really careful. I know with a lot of title companies, they're changing their requirements. It's not as loose as it was before to record a transaction. As far as vacant land, many of our title people that are in this meeting right now can attest to that. Title companies are requiring different things now. So when you have a mobile home, vacant land that's in escrow, title now wants to see 2 identities from both parties, buyer and seller, whether it be passport, driver's license, whatever forms of title IDs that title will accept. They want to see 2 forms of ID. They actually want copies in their file. They will not close unless the notary from the escrow company is assigned directly. So there will be no outside notaries for vacant lands. It must be an assigned notary from a licensed company that the escrow company sends out, or preferably those clients come into escrow and do it directly.
Yeah.
So there's some title companies, and I'm hearing about this recently, and Nancy and all the other people can attest to this and maybe give a little bit more background on this. Some of the title companies are going to I just recently heard of it like Thursday, a digital seller background check where it's digital, where they can actually pull up that seller's like ID, credit checks, background checks, facial recognition. I think we're having to go to those levels just to make sure, because we're seeing this so much more often, that we're having to go through other, channels to make sure that this is all legal and done properly, because it's getting pretty scary out there. One of the other things is make sure you as agents, I know sometimes with our own personal computers, we work from home, and we have to make sure that our computers are safe. I don't know how to tell you that because I'm not an IT person, but what I can tell you is make sure you have your computers checked. Make sure your updates are correct. The hackers are hackers. That's what they do. And sometimes an email can be changed with something as simple as a dot, as a period. They can change your entire email by a period and take all of your email information. And what the hacker is looking for are just, they can get into your email and all they're looking for is, transaction that say, they know you're a realtor, so they know you do real estate. They watch your emails to see if you have any opening, if you talk about a property address, and they intercede and they take over. So we have to make sure we're on top of our equipment, that we stay in front of those things, that, you're constantly doing checks or whatever services to your computer, that will make sure that, you're safe out there. The last thing any of us want us to do is to be involved in fraud. So, I come with 30 years of experience in this industry. You have Nancy that comes with that, plus, Angie, all of us as title people and escrow people. That's what we do. We're here to work for you. So whatever you guys need, if you have questions, if you have concerns about your vacant, I keep saying mobile homes. I must want to talk to you guys about mobile. Vacant land is becoming more popular right now. I'm seeing a lot of it. I'm seeing way more of it in escrow. I think I have 3 right now in escrow, which I've never really seen that much at one time. So it's becoming more popular. So we really want to be in front of it rather than behind it. I'm not going to hold you much longer because I have my information in the chat. If you need some more information, we can always talk about it. But again, I come with 30 years in this industry and know I can be a big help to all of you. So whatever you need, I'm here. And I'm going to end my time now, but thank you everyone and have a great week.
Peter, can I add to that?
Thank you,
Peter,
Mary.
Peter, can I add to that?
Yeah, sure. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's really important. I caught two of them vacant lot. One is San Dimas, one in Glendora. The seller called the agent directly. They've never ever met. It was only on phone and DocuSign transaction. At the end, like Marie said, they wouldn't show up. They say they're in Texas. They wouldn't show up to our designated notary. We would have sent a mobile notary. They wouldn't do it. They gave us 4 IDs, 2 couples, all fake. Okay, and there's another one, and then one more right now. One of my realtor called me. One of his veteran client got the property stolen from him. Right away, they did a loan for $600,000, took all the equity out. This guy is a retired veteran, and it's sad. So everybody be careful. You don't want to be, in the middle of that.
Yeah, knowing your client is very important. I think you should at least have a personal meeting with them before you even have to pick the listing.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Peter. First and foremost, have an appointment.
Yeah,
If they
yeah,
are out of state. When I went to a seminar for fraud by one of the attorneys, really popular attorney, and he was saying that never ever take a listing without seeing that seller.
Yeah.
You can't sit down and take a contract through email, faxes and all of those things. You need to sit down in front of that seller and don't be afraid to ask to see an ID.
Mm-hmm.
And if all of those problems and they're telling you no or they can't, if they're making excuses, that should be your immediate red flag.
Yeah. Yeah, agree. All right. Any question for Mary? Okay. Any more affiliates that came in late and want to speak at this point?
No.
No? Okay. All right, then I will continue with our business. This Wednesday we have invited Christy Connolly back to talk about the latest chat GPT development and how it can help us manage our real estate practice. Well, as you know, the chat GPT has rolled out the chat GPT 5, and it's a substantial improvement over the version 4. So I'm sure that Christy will talk a lot about the new development and how we can utilize it to our advantage in our real estate practice. So this is a very, very informative seminar. So don't miss it. Every time she talks, there was a very good turnout both in person and in via Zoom. So this Wednesday at 1 o'clock, lunch and learn, and a light lunch will be provided. So for people who wants to come and have a little bit of lunch and chit chat with your colleagues, by all means come in person. Okay. And this Friday we have a very important training too. This is the training from the MLS on the top violations in MLS and how to avoid them. As you know that the MLS is very serious about prosecuting the violations, and the violations penalty and can be very expensive. It can range from $250 to $2,500, and they are very serious in pursuing it, and also they're very serious in pursuing the disciplinary actions if there are some ethical violations in MLS. In order to prevent this from happening, I think you should stay informed with all the top violations and try to prevent them altogether. So the prevention is the best medicine. So come to our Friday training, which is 1 o'clock this Friday, and it's in person. And officers from the MLS will come here in person to train us. And then next Wednesday will be our annual risk management from our legal counsel, Brian Smith. And this time because he has a little back problem, he will not be able to come in person, so it will be on Zoom. That will be next Wednesday at 1 o'clock. And I hope you can make it. This is always a a very informative seminar in terms of risk management to avoid the lawsuits and real estate practice. Okay, so any questions on that so far? If not, then I would like to call Michelle Olson to tell us what's happening in our business activities.
Yeah, Carlos, he'll be on, the attorney will be via Zoom, but we'll also be in here, you know, showing it on the screen. So it's either you can be on Zoom or live. Okay?
Yeah.
So as everybody's saying, things are picking up. So let me go over the new escrows for this week. 11471, Azure View Road in Pinion Hills. Anna Sai, that is, and she's a listing agent sold by an outside broker at $510,000. 419 North Chandler, number 422. Nina and Tatiana, listing agent sold by an outside broker at $680. 233 North Lark Ellen Avenue in West Covina. $692,000, double-ended by Anna Lasarda. So our new listings, 419 North Chandler, number 422, Nina and Tatiana at $680. Antonio Rodriguez, 929 North Rowan Avenue in LA, 1.1 million. It's an income property. Virginia Deep, 3223 Washington Avenue in Almonte at $750,000. It's residential. 220 West Anaheim Street in Wilmington, commercial for Lily Yun at 2.668. 145 West 66th Street, Los Angeles. Another one by Antonio Rodriguez at $899. Shumay and Harrison, 203 North Nicholson Avenue, residential, $889. 230 South Garfield, it is a commercial lease by Harrison Chem, was listed at $430 a month. 417 North Chandler Avenue, number 515 in Monterey Park, is listed by Nina and Tatiana, and another one by Nina and Tatiana, unit number 415, listed at 718. So on to our closed escrows. We have a lease by Shumay and Harrison at 71 North Bonnie Avenue, Pasadena. That was a condominium at $4,500 a month. 221109 Longsworth Avenue in Lakewood. That was, the selling agent is Buddy, and that was sold for $955. That is residential. Lease by Kathy Chu at 516 Diamond Street in Monrovia. Residential sale by Tricia, and that was at 3644 Ardell Avenue in Baldwin Park at $878. And another sale by Christine Finn. It's a commercial. She was the selling agent at 320 North Garfield Avenue in Alhambra for a nice sum of $1.950. So congratulations to all of you who are out there and making sales. And for those of you who are prospecting, I can hear some of you in the office. It's nice. And also I want to remind you that we do have a welcome fall party coming up. That'll be on a Friday, September 19th. You will begin hearing more about it. It will be on the second floor from 3 to 5. And it'll be food, music, and, you know, a lot of conversation and good times with fellow agents. Also, if you know any agents that you like in the industry that you would like to invite, please do also extend that invitation to them as well. Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. Yeah, we have a mixer every 3 months, and the mixers will be very good for all the agents as well as for other agents that you're friend with too. So I'm looking forward to that, of course. And meanwhile, the activities of the real estate in the office has been increased quite a bit, and this is time to really rev up your engines and get some business before the end of the year. Usually, you know, the best month for real estate transaction is from March to the October. So make use of that, and you know, so by October, then you will have a very good and productive year, and that will be a very good thing to celebrate for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Okay, all right. With that, any additional listing or sales that you want to implement or supplement? Anybody who wants to share their listings, reduction in prices, and share whatever you need or want to do? Anything? Kind of quiet today, huh? Okay, if no questions and no new news, so I'll share my where's the share? Okay, I share my talk today. I'm going to talk to you about something that that should be interesting to you. It's about the recent changes in the 3 days notice to quit. As you know, that a lot of times when you have a listing and you know, your buyers would like to have it vacant so that they can either live for themselves or you rent it to other tenants. And sometimes you have to get rid of the current tenants before you can sell the properties. So a lot of times you have to help your clients in some way. I mean, I hope you don't take charge of it and trying to evict the tenant yourself. But sometimes you have to give them information about what to do, you know, in order to get the tenant out. Sometimes they ask you about the 3 days notice, what is legality and how to serve the 3 days notice. And if that's the case, then you have to be knowledgeable of what to do with the 3 days notice. There's a lot of changes in the 3 days notice along the years. And as in California, it's pro-tenant. There's a lot of cases that favors the tenants. And one recent case is in June of this year. The appeal court in California reversed the verdict in one of the cases where the landlord failed to abide by the requirement of the 3 days notice. So they reversed the case and create a lot of trouble for the landlords in California. Eventually, the California Association of Realtors has modified the 3 days notice a little bit to conform with it, and now it is fully conform to the requirement. But you need to know what kind of areas they have changed and why they have to be changed. Okay, so let's ask the question. You know, the legal question here is that the 3 days notice to pay the rent legally permissible now still? Yes, definitely, because it's governed by the California Code of Civil Procedure 1161.2, which allows the landlord to serve a 3 days notice on a tenant who has not paid the rent, and it's still the base for the legality to evict the tenants by giving the 3 days notice. But as I told you, that the California Court of Appeal for the 2nd District has reversed the decision of the lower court in the case of Shenzhen versus Cepeda, where they ruled that the landlord has a defective 3 day notice, and so just based on that, they reversed the case and invalidate the verdicts by saying that the 3 day notice failed to comply with the CCP 1161.2 because it did not set forth clear rules for payments, including to whom and where. So what are the specific problems with the notice in that case? There are three problems in three areas. The first area is that the notice did not clearly inform tenants that the tenant face eviction. So this is a very important due process requirement because the tenants has to know why are they giving the notice and what is the consequence of the notice if they ignore it, and what kind of right they have lost in case that they don't abide by the notice. And specifically, it has to be related to the rent. It cannot be anything else. If it is a promissory note on something else, then you cannot use the 3 days pay or quit. It is for rental only. So you have to specify that. If you don't specify that, that 3-day notice is void, is avoidable. The second area of deficiency is the notice did not state when the notice period commenced or ended, and in particular, and how they count the period. When it started, and how do you count the days? And whether the days you have to specify that the days that it falls on the weekends and holidays, it doesn't count. So you have to know how to count the 3 days, after the notice has been served. And if though you did not mention it or you did not count it correctly, this 3-day notice will be defective. The third area is that the notice has to provide a clear address where the rent could be paid. And also where can be paid, when it has to be paid, and it has to be where the tenants are. Not tenant. You have to be where the landlords are. If you specify the place where the tenant reside, then it's not valid because the tenant doesn't really know how to pay the rent. It has to be where the landlord has to be accessible. Okay, so those are the 3 areas that the 3 days notice has to provide. Now, how about now that the California Association of Realtors has 3 days notice to comply with the CCP section 1161.2, and it's still valid. Yes, it is still valid. It has a very small minor changes, but other than that, the majority is still substantially valid. But nevertheless, you should be familiar of what has been changed, and also make sure that it's satisfied with the 3 requirements that I just mentioned. Okay. So why is the PRQ still valid? Well, first area that is satisfied is that in the first paragraph, actually the title itself, it says that notice to pay rent or quit. So it specifically referred to paying the rent, not for anything else. So that's a clear the notification of this notice is related to the rent. And also in paragraph 3, it also tells you that failure to pay or surrender possession. And so you have given the tenants the alternative whether they should be able to pay the rent or surrender the possession as an option. And then the first sentence of the paragraph 3 also stated that if you don't pay the past due rent and give up the possession by the required time, a legal action will be filed seeking damages and possessions. So this sentence itself clearly notified the tenants and put the tenants in notice that the potential loss of the right to continue to occupy the premises is real. And if they don't abide by the pay the rent or to cure the defect, there will be a lawsuit to evict them. So that is satisfied the first requirement. And the second requirement is that the paragraph 1 of the PRQ state that within 3 days, starting the day after the date of the service of this notice, and then they tell you that the notice how to count the 3 days. For Saturdays, Sundays, and other judicial holidays are exempted. So in other words, you cannot count the Saturdays, Sundays, and the holidays. And if it falls on the holiday, then that day will be excluded from the 3 days requirements. And also the paragraph 4 titled Delivery of Notice and Proof of Notice states that this notice was served on a particular date, a very definite date, and then from that day on, they can calculate the 3 days according to the method that they use, and they have a clear understanding of what the start day is and what the end day is. And if by the end day the tenant did not cure the defect, then there will be potentially a lawsuit to evict the tenants. Now, this is some of the things that California Association of Realtors have a minor correction on the PRQ. And so once they did that, then this fully conform with what the court has required due to the lawsuit. And the third area is notifying the tenants of the place and time to pay rents. So if you look at the PRQ, you can find that paragraph 2D of the PRQ states that the rent shall be delivered to, which is with a specific person and at a particular address. And also paragraph 2E provides that the rent shall be delivered in person between the hours of what hours and the following days. And so there's a definite requirement that the rent should be delivered to the landlord. You should say these specific individual and the address has to pertain to the landlord, not to the tenant. Okay, if it pertains to the tenant, that's not valid. That's defective. And it has to pertain to the landlord. That is why in the lawsuit that got reversed, the notice put the tenant's information there, so that notice become defective. Okay, now after all that, do you need to reserve the notice if you had to serve the prior notice before? It is a question, a legal question, and I don't think that for any agent you should answer that. You should consult an attorney, especially an eviction attorney, and find out whether that 3 days notice fully comply with the requirement mandated by law. And so you don't volunteer to offer any legal opinion on the important 3 days notice like that. So a lot of people think that they can rip up sample the 3 day notice from ChatGPT, and as a matter of fact, I tried to I tested at ChatGPT by letting them to give me a sample 3 day notice. And in fact, there is a defect in that version. So don't depend on ChatGPT all the time. Sometimes ChatGPT has some defects, and it's not fully complied by law sometimes. So you have to really ask a legal person, eviction lawyers in particular, to find out what the legality of the 3 days notice is, because it is very important. If you don't get, if you give the 3 day notice, a defective 3 day notice, when you go to court, you can be reversed, and all the time and money and you spend on the eviction go down the drain, and then you have to start all over again by serving the 3 day notice again from the very beginning, So it's very, very, very important that you comply with all the requirements of the 3 days notice, which is mandated by the appeal case, which was given about 2 months ago. So the final word is that, if you're not sure, always ask the expert, the attorney. Okay, don't pretend that you are the legal counsel. All right, with that, I will stop the sharing and answer any questions. Do you have any questions? No questions? You're perfectly clear, huh?
Yep. Clear as mud.
Clear. Okay, okay, Carlos. Thank you very much. I hope that will help you, decide, or inform your client what the 3 days notice requirement is. Okay, anything else?
Thank you. Thank you, Peter. That's
You're
great
welcome.
information.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. All right. If not, then I will wish you a very nice week, and I will see you next week.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yes.
see you Wednesday
Bye.
and Friday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.